My wife said we don't have all night. I have nothing witty to say. Let's start the show.
I knew it. I knew you were bluffing. I knew he was bluffing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And here we are, 20 days. It's getting close to Phoenix Comic Con, and we got all kinds of stuff that we want to talk about tonight. We have some reviews to do tonight, but a lot of it's going to be about Phoenix Comic Con because all kinds of stuff is going on. First, for us, we should have brought some. We got shirts. We got a couple of shirts with the logo on them and all of our contact information that we're going to wear one day at the con. And then we've got a stack of bags that we're going to give away, again, with our logo and stuff on them. And then I have a box down there. You can probably see it down there. It's full of stuff that I've gotten from my nerd block. That's just stuff that I'm not going to use or whatever. So we're going to throw them in some of the bags and we'll give them away. And when stuff is gone, it's gone. And so if you happen to see us walking around, ask for a bag. We'll give it to you. We might give you a homework assignment or something, but we'll give it to you. Sure, why not? Whatever. So Phoenix Comic Con, are you excited?
I am, but I'm starting to stress because, we got some shopping to do.
We do.
And we still got one more weekend of things to do before we can do that.
Yeah,
so.
we got a full weekend this weekend, and then following Tuesday, when we normally would do the show, we're going to see Guardians, because we're not going to be home this weekend to go see Guardians. Drama.
Don't spoil it for us.
No spoilers. If you don't put this up, I'm gonna smack you in the ding ding. So the last big Phoenix Comic Con announcement came out last week, and I was hoping Mark Hamill. There were some people all over the internet saying it was gonna be Matt Smith or David Tennant, and we were all wrong.
Yep.
Who was it?
Dick Van Dyke.
What? Now I'm gonna say I am highly disappointed in this. Apparently, I am the lone gunman here. Everyone else that I've read, seen, comment on is super excited about Dick Van Dyke being here.
I think those are all the internet nerds. Last night it came up at my meeting, and everybody.
Which is why we're doing it tonight.
Everybody was like, "What?
Yeah.
Why Dick Van Dyke?"
It's
okay.
his first con ever. Ever. He's never been to a Comic Con, and he came here.
And there might be a reason for
it. It might be. Actually, the first... should I tell this story? Fuck it, I'm going to say it. When I emailed Texter and said, "Hey, Dick Van Dyke's the last big announcement. What do you think?" And the first comment I got back was, "Isn't he dead?"
I had no idea he was still alive.
I didn't either. So, we've gone to a couple panels where people who don't come to cons were there, and they end up not being very good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot of stories to tell. He's obviously old, and he was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and the other one,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. There you go.
And
and he had his own studio out here in Phoenix, out in Cave Creek for a long time. But I just don't find him very relevant to today.
I think it's either going to be spectacularly awesome or it's going to be off the rails. He's going to have a bunch of really cool stories and be all energetic and be full of life and fun, or he's not going to really know how to handle it. Now, he's a really good showman, so I expect him to be awesome. That's what I'm expecting. However, what we've discussed is, since everybody's going to be wanting to try to get in there, we'll go to the floor and try to get in there. And then Conmen are doing a panel right after that, and now we have to get caught up on the show. Some other stuff that came out, they have announced with the Dick Van Dyke stuff that they're going to sell seats in the big hall. They're expecting so many people to show up that they are going to sell the seats instead of just having first come, first serve. They're going to clear the hall before the panel and then bring everybody in. You can buy tickets. The big hall holds about 2,700 people, and it's he'll be there Saturday only. So there'll be about 50 or so thousand people there on just Saturday, and so it makes sense that somebody who's never been there before, a big panel, they have to try to limit it somehow, or you spend all day sitting in line waiting for Hall H.
Right.
Which is, if that's what you want to do for your con, So what they're gonna do is the front row is $45, front of house. So the first few rows, they really haven't said which ones, are $30, and then all the other seats are $15, and that will guarantee you a seat inside the hall. Anybody else left in line, they will fill the hall as they can up to that point. So you can risk it and get and not get it, or you may not get in there at all. And so it's just for Saturday. The passes go online. You have to sign up for it, and they'll send you an email, and then you have to go pick them up on Thursday. It's a big deal. I have no problem with them selling the tickets. I think it's actually going to make a lot of sense. They
can't do what they do at San Diego, right? They can't do what they do for Hall H. There's literally nowhere for people to camp.
Right.
While they wait. And who wants to, okay, it's May, but even at night in Phoenix in the summertime, it's still 95, 100 degrees.
Yeah,
so,
especially downtown with all the buildings and stuff.
So it's not like they can do what they do there. So this is kind of their answer.
Right. It makes a lot of sense. So there's a lot more information on the Phoenix Comic-Con website. So please go there. There's also the app. I've been playing with the app a lot. It's really, really good. I'm really happy with it. One of the other things they talked about is because they're doing this with Dick Van Dyke, they are going to do it with the other panels throughout the con. The smaller room, which is 301A, they're going to do the front of the house for $30, and then they'll just fill in the rest. And then the big room, they'll do again the 45 for the front row, 30 for the front of house, and then they'll fill it in with the us in the back of the room. I'm thinking a lot of our Sunday is going to be spent in the big room.
Yes.
Alan Tudyk, Charlie Cox, John Bernthal, Jenna Coleman, Arthur Duvall are all on Sunday.
Yeah. We're going to pack a lunch and find a seat and stay there.
I wonder if we can get one of those inflatable vaginas that we can take and just put it in the corner.
No, because you'll be a fire risk if you're
true. In the aisle. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff going on with Phoenix Comic-Con. And then just this afternoon it was announced that Joan Cusack had to cancel. Again, I think it would have been cool to see her if they were doing a big voiceover panel. It wasn't something I was like rah-rah about. But her reasoning is completely legit. She actually got a job. Yeah. And so she has a scheduling conflict because she's filming. I'm never going to fault an actor for wanting to, who's going to ditch out on a con to go to work. I'm never ever going to complain about that. Never ever.
It's a thing. That's what they do.
Right. It happened a few years ago. They did the 20th anniversary of Babylon 5. There's a few years before we went to our first con. They had everybody in the cast, including Bruce Boxleitner. Uh-huh. And everybody was going to show up when they would do this big giant panel, and everybody's going to be there. And like 2 weeks before the con, Bruce had to cancel because he got a job.
Yeah.
And there was a scheduling conflict, and it was sad because he was one of the main guys on Babylon 5. But again, I'm never gonna fault anybody for that. So, yep. And in other con news, I went to ZapCon this last weekend and played video games for way too many hours. ZapCon is a local con here. It's held in Mesa. It's actually about 7 minutes from our house in downtown Mesa at the convention center. You pay them money, and there's 250 arcade games and 200 pinball machines, and they say go. And it was amazing. Oh, it was so much fun.
He's still talking about it.
I went by myself. She went to a baby shower. I think I got the better end of it. I went. They had a whole. I left with one of the Tetris games. I had the high score in the Tetris game when I left. I was pretty happy with myself. I played a whole lot of pinball, a lot of Doctor Who pinball, and just I spent the whole day there. Ran into a bunch of people I knew. Made some new friends. One of them is Mo from Alt AZ. Hi, Mo. And so, yeah, it was just way worth it. It actually was a 2-day con. I only went for Saturday. They had tournaments the whole weekend, and just There's people cosplay. I took a whole bunch of pictures. They're on the Facebook page. Please go look at it. You can be jelly.
Apparently, somebody tried to talk him into entering the Tetris tournament.
Yes,
but it was Sunday.
It was on Sunday, unfortunately. So it happens. We have a whole bunch of other news that I want to get into. Fast and the Furious 8, or Fate of the Furioso, as we call it. Bad joke. Races past the $1 billion point worldwide. And then a submarine shows up and they jump a tank and no? Okay. Why am I saying this? If I told you 10 years ago that when the stupid little car movie came out and we come back and this would be the third movie to go over $1 billion from that franchise, I'm pretty sure you'd punch me in the tank.
We went and saw the original Fast and the Furious in the movie theater.
Yes.
I think there was probably like 5 people in the movie theater.
Yes.
And if you'd have told me then that they were making 8 of them, I would have told you were crazy.
Yes.
Let alone the whole $1 billion thing.
Well, what they've done with these, and I really appreciate this. My 2 favorite genres of movies are sci-fi movies and heist movies, and they've turned the Fast and the Furious series into heist movies. And a bunch of really cool cars, hot chicks, good-looking guys, exotic locations like Cuba. They were in Rio a couple of times ago. They've been in Tokyo. They've been in London. They've been all over the place. I don't know where they got to go in 9 and 10, but Reykjavik. They need to go to Reykjavik.
Oh,
that would be awesome. But it's made $200 million here domestically, and the rest overseas. They will keep making these until people stop showing up, and I don't blame them, and we will continue to go.
Yeah.
We had fun. That's it.
Yeah.
A movie that we did not have fun with, we went on Friday and went and saw The Circle. It's got Emma Watson and Tom Hanks and Patton Oswalt, Karen Gillan, and John Boyega. And it's about... essentially Facebook.
Yeah.
It's the Facebook world where you share everything with your about your life, and
it's like a Facebook Google mashup kind of thing.
Right. You're connected with everybody, and you're super transparent in everything you do. And first act was pretty cool. Second act was not so cool, and then the movie ended. And I would say this is probably the first dud we've been to in a while.
Yeah.
We're not professional movie reviewers, previewers, same thing. So we get to pick and choose the movies that we want to go see. And so we usually pick movies that we were really excited about seeing, and we actually end up enjoying them. We picked this one because of the cast and the idea. It looked awesome, and it was horseshit.
Apparently, the book is much the same way. So, because we left the movie theater thinking, I wonder how the book ended, because the movie ended very oddly. But apparently the book ends the same way.
All right.
And everything I've seen, everybody has said the exact same thing. It wasn't just us. I was like, was it us? Did we miss the point? So, I've read some stuff online, and everybody was like, the cast is great. John Boyega is in it for like a hot minute. Tom Hanks is in it.
So underused.
Yeah. Tom Hanks is in it for like a hot minute and a half. Everybody says it started out great and it just ended.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks as a bad... The previews were Tom Hanks is a bad guy, and he's not kind of a bad guy. There's really no bad guy in the...
Well, he is a bad guy, but you get...
it's...
Okay, maybe spoilers? You get no satisfaction when he gets his...
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Him and Patton Oswalt are both kind of the bad guys in the movie. But it's, there's no character development. There's, you don't care. You don't care about what happened to anybody at the end.
Yeah. So, suggestion from us, skip. Skip. Okay, so we'll move on to that. We'll talk about M. Night Shyamalan. He came out last week with a tweet and some, I won't say it's details because he doesn't really do that, but he is going to make a sequel to Split and Unbreakable.
If you haven't seen Split, you don't understand.
You understand.
Well, I guess if you haven't seen Unbreakable, but you did see... You have to have seen both of them.
Yeah.
To understand.
Bruce Willis is coming back. James McAvoy is coming back. Samuel L. Jackson's coming back. What the hell is her name that played the girl in Split is coming back. And so, yeah, everybody's coming back. It's a combined universe. It is actually a sequel for the two movies together. And I'm in. And Unbreakable is one of my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies. And so is Split, and it's a combined universe, and so I just think it's awesome.
Yep.
So probably not until like 2020 or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
He's not James Cameron where he's
10 years
every 10 years or whatever. That was the whole Avatar thing from last week. All right, so I have to talk about this next one, partly because I have to ask a question. Do you remember Rampage, the video game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the giant monkeys and gorillas and whatever, and they're taking over the town.
Sure.
It's not Planet of the Apes. It was like a 16-bit game, arcade game or whatever. So they're making it a movie. Right.
Why?
Right. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's in it.
Of course he is.
So they started filming last month, and they've posted some stuff to Instagram. And then this is from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This is the description of the movie from Dwayne. I head up an anti-poaching unit out of Rwanda. My best friend is a rare albino gorilla named George. Very bad people infect George, an alligator, and a wolf with a serum. All three animals grow up in an unprecedented rate, and their size, speed, agility, and violent aggressions is off the charts. They go on a deadly rampage and want to destroy the world. George is not happy. Me, not happy. When animals like you, you lick them. When they don't like you, they kill you. Oh wait.
They lick you.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask when I'm reading. When animals like you, they lick you. When they don't like you, they kill you. I will hunt down the bad people who did this to my best friend, and when I find them, I will not lick them. Tell me you don't want to go see this now. Oh, come on, the Plaid shit that we watch. Plaid's a term in our house for just stupid, crazy stuff. Come on.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
Oh my god. Giant freaking gorillas tearing down buildings. Albino gorilla best friends. Come on. It's gonna be totally ridiculous.
No. Like Baywatch and...
I want to see the Baywatch.
22 Jump Street.
It's gonna be like 22 Jump Street. It's gonna be Baywatch. It's gonna make $1 gazillion because everything that Dwayne Johnson, he's Midas. Everything he touches
he's Black Midas.
He's Black Midas. That's racist. Thanks, Cinema Sense. Today we had 2 trailers drop. We'll do one first because the other one's gonna take a minute.
What are you trying to say?
Because I've already watched the review and I know what's going to happen.
All right.
So the first one that came out was The Defenders, the Netflix universe of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and the Iron Fist. Finally, all get together and team up. And
Sigourney
Weaver. Fuck him in.
She's always a bad guy.
She's not always she was a bad guy in Paul. In a really great dress and a really big gun. Where were you hiding that gun? So, what was your initial thoughts of Defenders trailer?
I'm ready. Now.
Can they make up for Iron Fist?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it will. I think that that character will do better in a kind of
in a
montage, than by himself.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Some things about the Defenders that weren't really addressed, but people have been talking about online lately is because they're in New York, they're in the five boroughs. Also in the Marvel universe is Doctor Strange protecting this Secretorium, whatever, in New York, and he works with and helps the Defenders.
Okay.
So, over under 40%, Benedict shows up in at least one scene of one episode in the 8 episodes. At the end or something like that?
I don't know. I mean, they've had such a hard time doing that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I don't know if they're going to be able to. Right? Because they talked about getting Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it hasn't worked out. So I think that they might be just left with making references like they have been. I don't know.
The Marvel TV side and the Marvel movie side, the cinematic universe, they actually are in the same building. They just don't talk to each other. They're like that 40-year-old marriage that they talk to each other through their children. Kevin Feige doesn't like, I can't remember the guy who's running Marvel TV, and he doesn't like Kevin Feige, and so they just don't talk to each other, nice. So that would probably be why I say that, like what you're saying, it's just not going to happen. However, you can't really tell the story of the Defenders without having some reference to Doctor Strange.
All right.
So it's somewhere in there. You have to have some reference. I still think it'd be like a really cool at the end of the season. They're having dinner or whatever. Because in the trailer, they're all sitting around talking about how awesome it would be if they all teamed up as a group. Because you're bulletproof and you're a blind ninja and you're the smart ass and I have a glowing fisty handy thingy. But it would be cool if they go back and have dinner afterwards, having shawarma, and because it's the Marvel universe, they have to have shawarma, right? And they're standing there, and then Doctor Strange walks in, and then they roll credits. I think that would be awesome. I think that part would be kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I thought the trailer was really cool. The first scene where Jessica Jones is getting interrogated by the detective from Luke Cage, and all of a sudden Matt Murdock walks in, and he tells Jessica Jones to shut up, and the detective's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm her attorney." And I just love Jessica Jones like,
"Who are you?"
My attorney's a woman. Played Trinity. She's a lesbian. And so that was just a perfect start to the whole thing. And then Danny Rand and Luke Cage's interaction. I mean, that's all a whole comic book is about them being a buddy cop detective agency, and just their constant bickering. That has to happen. Has to happen. But I was I'm in, and then the last scene before they start rolling the Netflix credits was the hallway scene. Every show has done some kind of hallway fight scene, and now all of them are in this giant hallway fighting together. Come on!
Calm down.
Alright. Just awesome. Alright. Dun 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 dun. The Dark Tower trailer came out today. I will begin. I think it looks awesome. I'm looking at all the Dean Koontz hardback. Dean Koontz, he's down there too. All the Stephen King books and Dean Koontz books over there, all in hardback. My wife has a thing, and somebody has read all the books, and now I'm gonna rile up the redhead and go. Go.
Okay.
Begin.
Okay. Okay. The movie itself, I said this in the review. The movie itself looks awesome. It happens to mention the gunslinger and the man in black and the boy, and that's really about it. That's not going to it's not going to have a whole lot to do. It's a 8-book series, right? And they tried. We heard that they tried. They wanted to make a 3-movie series and then turn it into a TV series, and there was all these things. So the movie itself, if I can take myself away from what they're doing to the books, it looks like it looks cool. Thinking about it afterwards, I realized that as a Stephen King fan, we are never ever going to get the Gunslinger series as movies. We're never going to get the Gunslinger series that we want as movies.
Right.
Ever. Even 100 years from now, when Stephen King's dead and he is the William Shakespeare of our time, we are never... And Peter Jackson comes along and turns it into a
third
million movie episode thing. We as Stephen King fans are never going to get the movies that we want. And the reason for that is that whole series is like a love letter to the constant reader. And the constant reader, if you are a Stephen King fan, is you. And he addresses you in the little letter at the end of every book, constant reader. And there's all kinds of Easter eggs thrown into these books that make us love them all the more. And, he even puts himself in there. He himself, the writer, Stephen King, is in the books towards the end.
Right.
And his getting hit by the van and almost dying, all of that's in there. And you just can't put that in a movie. It's never going to make sense to the rest of the population who's going to go see those movies. So that's what we all want, and that's never going to happen. So, can they make a decent... I mean, I thought the 11/22/63 or whatever, the damn terrible, the date that JFK died, that book, when they made it into the series...
With James Franco.
Yeah. I thought it looked awesome, and then it happened, and it was horrible. So I just hope that they don't do that. I am willing to suspend my knowledge of the Gunslinger series to watch a movie as long as it's decent.
I think that it's they have to do what Marvel is doing. There's so much stuff in the Marvel comic book universe that they have to pick and choose to make these 2.5 hour long movies. Now, there's been 20 of them, and they don't own the rights to some of them, right? They don't own the rights to all the X-Men and stuff, so they have to figure out how to tell the story that makes sense and is enjoyable without by reducing it and picking certain points and changing certain things because it works better on the big screen than on this.
I think that is more for for regular books, because there is so much, there's thought.
Yeah.
In a regular book, you're reading what people are thinking and feeling and all that, and that just doesn't translate.
That almost never translates well.
But Marvel they're comic books, right? So they can take a very high level, approach. They go pull out the themes and the story and do whatever they want to it. You can't do that necessarily with books without the people who love those books coming back and saying, "You destroyed my book." I just don't think that the people who really want to see all of the Gunslinger books put into movie, that we are never going to be happy.
Right.
We are never going to get what it is that we want.
I'm not a super reader, okay? I can read poorly, but I can read. I listen to a lot of books. I've never seen a book completely work as well as it can in a movie form. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head that actually seemed that was pretty damn close to the book was Da Vinci Code, because it was written like a movie.
The first one.
The Da Vinci Code.
There's been a couple of Stephen King. So Christine is very close to the book, and Stand By Me is almost verbatim.
But it's a short story.
It's a short story called The Body, but it's almost verbatim. And I mean that people point to that, that and Shawshank, Green Mile, as Stephen King's, greatest movie adaptations, and it's because it's a short story, and it's it's easier. I mean, they definitely took a lot out of Christine. It wasn't in the movie, but it pretty much followed the book.
It made sense. Okay, all right. So I'm looking forward to it because it's got Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, and the gunplay in it looks amazing. Go and watch our reaction. Her reaction to it, and then actually go watch the trailer on a big screen, and you can see some of the gun stuff that you maybe didn't get to see in the small screen on your phone or whatever.
And it flicks them all into it was really cool.
The cartridge of the six shooter cartridge is flying through the air, and he opens up the gun in midair in slow motion and picks it up in the air and starts firing. I was like, oh, that's way cool. So that kind of stuff, as an action sci-fi kind of thing, that intrigues me. Idris Elba should be the next Bond. Matthew McConaughey should be in everything.
I don't know how they're going to tie in the tower, right? It's very, like I said in the review, it's very cinematic. There's these big scenes, and outside, and the vistas or whatever, and then New York City, and then there's this tower. And you're like, I don't understand what that actually has to do with anything. So I hope that they're able to tie it all together, and so that it at least makes sense.
Let's be honest, though. This movie's 3 months out. It comes out the first week in August. We will go see it opening weekend. But there has been nothing out for it. We talked about this the other day. There's been like very little description, very little set photos.
And that could be a bad thing.
This is the first trailer. But Stephen King posted it to his Twitter and was super excited about it. So, yeah. I don't know. So, there you go. That's what we got for this week. What do you guys think? I'm ready for Rampage. Come on, giant gorilla, albino gorilla tearing down. Dark Tower, Defenders, it all looks awesome. Skip on the Circle, and all of the stuff that's coming on with Phoenix Comic-Con, which is happening in 3 weeks. And we are not ready. Is your cosplay ready? Ours isn't. So tell us what you think. Like this video. Leave us a comment. You can find us on Facebook at the Pop Culture Cult. We are at Pop Culture Cult 1 on Instagram. And we're at Pop_Cult1 again on Twitter. And please like, follow, subscribe to all of our channels. We're trying to get to 200 people on Facebook. And we're at 35 on YouTube. We'd like to get to 100 by Memorial Day weekend. Come on, people, get your shit together. So, to help you subscribe, you can go right here and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And this, right here, is the Dark Tower review. And until next time, where's my mouse? I can't find it. And until next time, good night now.